30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up, students of Nalerigu and Boku Senior High Schools in the Upper East and Northeast regions evacuated to safety after 3 of them were killed last week. With more as security experts decry the deployment to Boku as part of government's measures to curb the clashes there.
It is the most dangerous thing to do. Not even the angels of heaven, if they are acting as police, would allow such a thing.
It has never worked for 30 years, and we are lazy and we keep using it.
We'll also take you to the Ashanti region where the police and national security operatives are pursuing 3 individuals suspected to be behind the murder of the Kusasi chief in Kumasi and other recent murders. Also coming up, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice has justified the decision to discontinue the criminal case against the founder of the defunct Unibac, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, and 7 others. He insists that his holistic approach to resolving the matter has effectively addressed both the criminal and civil dimensions of the case.
So they did not loot the money, they did not give the money to anybody. They just made entries that were meant to give Bank of Ghana, the central bank, the impression that the bank was doing well.
Also coming up, as Ghana records its first Empox death, Joy News checks reveal that the public awareness about the disease remains alarmingly low.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard the name before.
I have no idea about it.
Okay, so I've heard of the Empox virus, but then I don't really know what it is. And I haven't seen anyone with such illness before it.
We have details of that coming up also in sports.
Ghana's Black Queens return home to heroic welcome after clinching bronze at the just ended Women's AFCON.
And Ghanaians continue to mourn the passing of high life legend Daddy Lumba, whose death on Saturday has left a deep void in the country's music scene. We'll also hear from key voices in the music industry.
Daddy Lumba is one artist who knows what he wants.
I only know him from the professional level, off work. He is a love me, hate me character.
He used a conga as an interview instrument.
More on this coming up shortly. I am Maame Nyamekye Thompson. Stay for details. And this afternoon, students of the Nalerigu Senior High School were earlier today evacuated to safety. This follows the killing of 2 of its students on Saturday. Also, a student of the Boku Senior High School was pulled out of his dormitory and shot on the dormitory at close range in the school premises by unknown assailants who scaled the wall and escaped. A daily curfew from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. is currently in place there. Now, here's Boku Municipal Director of Education Isaac Agbeku Azasu noting the school's closure is necessary to ensure the safety of both students and staff.
And we have decided to give the school a temporary break so that we'll go back to our various homes, to our families, and at the right time management will communicate back to you. We are most concerned about the final year students who have just about a week to start their exams. When the break is given, we'll first and foremost call the final year students back. Then it will be followed with the Form 2s and then the Form 1s who are here. And I think that is the best decision for now. If all of us should return back to our parents, we can put their hearts and minds at rest. But if we continue to keep all of you here, the number of calls your parents will be calling to find out what is happening. We want to assure your parents that all of you are safe. And we'll make sure that we create a safe passage for all of you to get back home safely. Those who cannot go when the break is given, special arrangements will be made for you to remain with security provided for you as well.
And you heard the Boku Education Director there. Well, joining us now is the Boku MCE, Isaac Azuna. But we're grateful for your time on the Midday News. Well, these students are being evacuated, but what measures are being rolled out to ensure that the residents are aiding or, adhering to the curfews that have been put in place?
Good afternoon.
We are engaging everyone, the stakeholders, the traditional authorities, to explain the case situation to them, to let them understand the need for a curfew, to calm the violence which is accumulating, let me put it that way. So all stakeholders have been engaged, the traditional authorities have been talked to, and then they are all cooperating for us to have calmness in Boku.
What arrangements have been put in place for the students? You know, Wasi is just around the corner, but they are being evacuated from the schools. Have there been any measures put in place to ensure that they adequately prepare for the exams?
Yes. Yesterday I had a meeting with the school authority, the headmaster, and some of the staff and other stakeholders, together with the director for education for the municipality. We discussed partly about coming back, when they're coming back, and the exam which they are about to write. We briefly look at the possible ways to ensure their security, and this afternoon I spoke to the headmaster again. I want to find out how's composed and then how they're fared. And then we also discussed briefly about the exam. They will be coming back on the 4th, and then the exam will start on the 5th. I've called the security agencies to have a short meeting with them this afternoon regarding the security situation, and we will discuss on the exam. The most likely thing we will do is to station security agencies, military on the campus, and then to add that we will talk to the security, the traditional authorities, all stakeholders, the communities around, to ensure that the students have safety to write the exam peacefully throughout the period that they are writing.
Well, let's talk about the situation currently in Boku. How will you describe the atmosphere there? Really, how is the police and military ensuring that the curfew is adhered to?
Yeah, everything is calm. I'm just in the office. Boku is calm now. The military, the security in general are ensuring that the curfew is adhered to. And yesterday, the 2 o'clock PM curfew started yesterday, and then they were able to enforce it to the latter. I expect the same today, and up to when maybe decision is taken to review the curfew.
Thank you very much. And you heard there Boku MCE Isaac Azunaba. Well, we know that government has deployed armed forces to enforce peace in the area. The shift, according to government, is to maintain law and order. Reacting to this, a security expert, Dr. Vladimir Intridansu, says that the military deployment will not really solve the problem.
Not even the angels of heaven, if they are acting as police, would allow such a thing. It is the most dangerous thing to do. Now, of course, rioters always want to provoke, and it depends on how the police act. The point is this: trying to, spark a police vehicle. Who knows what you want to do with the police vehicle? Of course, from our films and things, we normally see these things in U.S. films and actualities in the U.S. system. You can't do this anywhere in the world and go scot-free. What right did that person have to enter a police vehicle and ignite it, with the hope of doing what? To be honest with you, I was appalled. I can't even believe that any good person believing in democracy, as they call themselves, democracy how? And that he has a democratic right to enter a police vehicle and try to use it or whatever it is. This is criminal, honestly speaking.
Let's also hear from Professor Kwesi Anin, who believes the military deployment could have serious implications for the conflict.
No, we have only issued a statement saying we are doing peace enforcement. But peace enforcement has significance that we are now almost in a war zone. We are going to use firepower, appropriate firepower, to respond to those who are playing these guerrilla tactics over the past 4 or 5 years. Now, how will the public respond to when the death toll begins to rise? So the PR department of the Ghana Armed Force will need to provide education right. This is what the Boku crisis is. This is what we are going to do. This may be the impact. So this is a dramatic escalation of what we are seeing. People are using words like oh, the crisis has spilled over to Kumasi, people have been killed or somebody has.
Well, Albert Sorry, our Upper East Regional correspondent, joins me on the line. Albert, how are residents reacting to the, raft of security measures that have been rolled out?
I mean, see, a lot of the residents are staying indoors, only coming out to get their food and other supplies and then going back indoors. There are those who have managed to also come out to do their business, but they are doing all this and having at the back of their minds that by 2 p.m. they have to go back indoors.
All right, thank you so much, Albert. Well, still on this, let's go to the Ashanti region. The police and the national security operatives say they have launched a manhunt for 3 individuals believed to be behind the killing of the Kusasi chief in Kumasi and other recent murders. Let's hear from the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, Captain Retired John Jabari.
Currently, we have put up certain security measures to prevent such incidents from happening. But we have a few leads or follow-ups that we are pursuing. We have almost about 3 or 4 suspects that we are pursuing. But at this time, it will be very difficult for me to give you the names or details of these people because we think that they might flee. But when we go on social media, there are so many talk about young men who are speaking about these things on TikTok, Facebook, that you can even pick up some from them. So we urge the public to help us with some of these details on those who are on social media talking and threatening with these killings at Asawase. We believe that what happened in Ashaman too might be linked to this same thing about Asawase. The general background is that it looks like the conflict is leaving Boku and somehow coming to the southern side, where we have known chiefs or prominent people who are part of the Kusasi or the Mampusi groups, and the conflict is shifting towards that direction. That's the analogy that we are working with. But we believe that these measures we have put in place will curb the sporadic killings now, and will urge the citizens to cooperate with us. We know some of these restrictions infringe on their rights, but
and you heard the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, John Jabari, speaking to Love FM's David Akwete. Well, let me take you live to our Asawase community now, where my colleague Nana Aljima is monitoring the situation. Nana, what is the situation on the ground and how are residents responding to the restrictions?
Presently, the area is very calm. People are going about their normal duties. As Boone said earlier, there are lots of security men on the ground, a lot of security checkpoints within the Asawase and its enclave. Now, one issue that is being raised by the people is that some of these policemen are trying to extort money from them, especially people on motorbikes. So they want the Regional Security Council to call them to order. Moreover, they are very safe. They feel that the measure is in place and it's helping bring some calm to the area.
Thank you so much, Nana Ajima. Now, the National Peace Council has also raised concerns about the development, and as a statement on that, Elton Brobe is in studio with me with details of that. Elton.
The Peace Council is calling on the feuding parties to channel their grievances to the Tumfo Mediation Committee. They further call for the revival of the Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee as a complementary mechanism to the Tumfo Committee towards finding an amicable solution to the conflict. The Peace Council again appeals to the parties in the conflict to pursue values of tolerance, mutual respect and dialogue in any intervention plan to address the issue.
Thank you so much, Elton, with that update. Away from Boku and other security issues, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has justified a decision to discontinue the criminal case against the founder of the defunct Unibank, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, and 7 others. He insists that his holistic approach to resolving the matter has effectively addressed both the criminal and civil dimensions of the case. The AG last week discontinued the prosecution of former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Dufo and 7 others who were standing trial in connection with alleged financial improprieties during Ghana's financial sector cleanup. The case was one of several stemming from the state's financial sector reforms launched in 2018, which aim to hold individuals accountable and recover losses to the state. According to the AG's office, a benchmark was established requiring the recovery of at least 60% of the alleged losses as a condition to reconsider prosecution. Addressing the media, Dr. Ayine says his civil intervention has led to the recovery of some of the money.
The exclusion of 2.1 billion in an alleged in the alleged fictitious amounts booked to the account of the shareholder which did not involve cash outflows. In other words, monies didn't go out to anybody. These were just book entries that were designed to make the books of Unibank look good. That is how come that in the criminal case, the charge of falsification of accounts was brought against them. So they did not loot the money. They did not give the money to anybody. They just made entries that were meant to give Bank of Ghana, the central bank, the impression that the bank was doing well. Okay. Then the exclusion of 0.3 billion relating to Unibank's placement with a SEC-regulated, related company currently in receivership, which is being pursued separately through the insolvency proceedings. After prolonged negotiations, the accused persons, by a letter dated 7th May 2025, made a proposal to settle the revised outstanding obligation of 3.3 billion Ghana cedis through a structured approach. The accused persons offered to pay 2 billion Ghana cedis in full and final settlement of the outstanding obligations through the following arrangements: 800 million worth of assets to be transferred directly to Unibank, which is in receivership, which will now make that available to the Bank of Ghana.
Well, Dr. Ayine also took on critics who say his 60% recovery or rather encouraged people to steal from public funds.
The terms of the settlement are structured to ensure that the Attorney General, the Bank of Ghana, the Minister of Finance exercise oversight over the recovery of the negotiated amounts. Progress under the agreement will be subject to quarterly reviews to ensure that the accused persons fulfill their obligations as agreed. Ladies and gentlemen of the media and my fellow countrymen and women, it is important to correct certain misunderstandings or distortions, deliberate in some cases, that our team picked from the media space regarding this matter. Since my press release, it has been said that by setting a minimum threshold of 60% for the recovery of assets as a condition for filing a nolle prosequi or terminating the banking sector cases, I have cut a deal which permits persons who have stolen or looted public funds to walk away with 40% of the loot. At least that is the narrative, by some sections of, the Ghanaian populace, particularly from our opponents in the MPP who were responsible for all this mess. Indeed, one writer on Facebook compared my decision to the situation where someone has stolen 6 goods and is being told by the prosecutor to return 4 goods and keep the 2.
Well, we'll bring you more of that from Dr. Ayine on subsequent bulletins. Well, presidential correspondent Maxwell Agbagba is there for us and joins me. Maxwell, he's also been speaking on the oral cases. What's the latest?
The AG said the filing of charges in the NSS scandal, which was initially scheduled for last week, was halted after investigators uncovered fresh evidence of malfeasance. He says this new evidence involves a Bank of Ghana account to which an amount of 189 million Ghana cedis was transferred. Now, out of this, 80 million Ghana cedis, he says, cannot be accounted for. Now, investigators also found 2 checks bearing the name and account details of a former Director General of the NSS, which were used to withdraw a little under 2 million Ghana cedis from the account. Now, he says the filing of charges has been put on hold pending the receipt of further evidence from relevant state agencies. He also said Yoko has completed investigations into Chairman Wontumi and the former CEO of the National Buffer Stock Company case. He says the outcomes of both investigations will be made public soon. He says the police CID has finalized the dockets on the Akonta mining case and submitted them to the appropriate authorities. Charges have been prepared and the suspects will be formally charged and arraigned in due course. Now, they have also concluded the case management conference in the Skyplane matter. He says medical excuses by Professor Mayor Kumfi, one of the accused persons, has delayed the process a bit, but will start before the legal vacation begins.
Thank you so much, Maxwell Agbagba, for that update. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break and return with sports, and also as Ghana records its first Empox death, Joy News checks reveal that public awareness about the disease remains alarmingly low.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard the name before. Please, I have no idea about it.
Okay, so I've heard of the Empox virus, but then I don't really know what it is, and I haven't seen anyone with such illness before.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Wherever you are, the game is nothing without you. It's on like never before this season. Every major league, every cup, every qualifier, the players, kudos, Semenyo, Iñaki, the goals, the emotions, and the bragging rights. It's all on SuperSport, available on DSTV and GoTV. Get your DSTV decoder at 89 cedis and GoTV decoder at 399 cedis. DSTV, your home of entertainment. Go TV. Love it.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports with Mubarak.
Yes, Maame, so Ghana's senior women's national team, the Black Queens, received a rousing welcome at the Kotoka International Airport at dawn following their third place finish at the AFCON. The Queens secured the bronze medal after beating South Africa 4-3 on penalties, their first podium finish since 2016. Here is midfielder Jennifer Kuju.
I feel amazing. We wish we would have been in the final, but we are so thankful and grateful for being in the 10th place. And it's just everything that we worked for, it just came to pass. We are just happy, and I'm excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Yes, I mean there's a progress that, now, so we hope that in the future there's going to be more investment into women's soccer in Ghana, and we'll get more out of it. So, but for now, it's getting better than it used to be. Yeah.
So that's Black Queens midfielder Jennifer Kujo. Back to you, Maame.
Thank you very much. Imagine giving birth at a health facility and being told to go home just to take a bath. That's the harsh reality facing mothers in the Bongo district of the Upper East region. Women are bringing life into the world in clinics with no toilets, no running water, and no dignity. There's more on this following report.
This is Konkua, a small farming community in the southwestern part of the Bongo district with a population of over 1,000 people. This small community-based health planning and services CHIPS Center is the only healthcare facility here. Both pregnant women and nursing mothers come here for antenatal and postnatal services. But the facility has no access to water and no washrooms or toilets. Mary Ania has been coming to this facility for some years now. She received antenatal care and delivered her second child in this facility.
Because there's no water here, I have to send my sister to go home and carry and bring me water so that I can take my bath here. I went home and came back here with rashes all over my baby.
Like Mary, these two expectant mothers coming for antenatal care are facing similar difficulties due to the lack of access to water and sanitation facilities. They say they are not even able to collect their urine samples in a dignified manner for lab tests.
The lack of water at the facility always forces the midwife to discharge you immediately after delivery. The only option is for your relatives to bring you water from home. This often takes long and you would have been exposed to infections before getting the water.
The last time I delivered, I had to wait to be discharged the next day before I could have a bath.
According to the Bongo District Director of Health Services, Estella Abazese, many of the healthcare facilities in the district were built without the provision of proper water, sanitation and hygiene.
Now, as Ghana records its first death from the ongoing Empox outbreak, Joy News checks reveal alarmingly low public awareness about the infection and how to stay protected. The death confirmed in the Greater Accra region comes alongside 23 new cases, raising the total number of infections to 257 since the outbreak.
I know that you should have to be social distance, but see, Ghana, we have only the vehicle, public vehicle that we are using.
Yeah.
So how about that? We can't do anything. But only that you have to take care of yourself.
Okay, so personally, what are you doing to make sure that you are well protected?
If you are with some people, just you have to associate yourself so more.
Please, I've heard something about Empox.
Are you aware of how it's like?
Something small.
Well, Ghanaians continue to mourn the passing of high life legend Daddy Lumba, whose death on Saturday has left a deep void in the country's music scene. The 60-year-old icon, known for shaping generations with his soulful lyrics and unmatched artistry, died in the Bank Hospital in Accra after a short illness. His legacy, however, lives on.
It appears we're stuck in travels. That was the lament in Yayaka Quintrum. And now it has become a reality. Ghana's high life icon, Daddy Lumba, has taken his final trip, one from which there is no return. Born Charles Kojufosu, Lumba was more than just a musician. He was a mirror to our emotions, singing what many feared to say. From Abin-Waha, which made speakers explode across the country, to the soul-soothing Teresa. Lumba gave us love, confidence, and vulnerability. He reminded us that sikasem, money, could destroy the best of friendships. That minyampo, even when you have nothing, you must stand with dignity. A man who battled illness, personal loss and controversy, but always returned through music with yet another truth wrapped in melody.
We can also hear from Kojo Nchi, the renowned Ghanaian Afro-pop musician who visited his residence to share his condolences.
Think about Lumba you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He's a brother. My brother said he's a brother, so I had to be here. It's been said over and over. It's been said that I'm not here. Something has happened to me. We have to be here. The confirmation is here, so what we can do is help mourn him, but his message and his voice stays alive with us. Yeah.
We can also hear from some key voices in Ghana's music industry reacting to his passing, among them Mark Okrekumante, founder and CEO of Slipmark Entertainment, and former Deputy Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, music producer Apia Dankwa, also known as Apietus, and also legal practitioner and music enthusiast Ace Ankoma. They spoke on the Super Morning Show.
Daddy Lumba is one artist who knows what he wants. It's easy working with him because if the artist, you have to show him almost everything. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Sing it like this. Don't do this. Don't do that. It makes the job difficult. I remember one time he had a beat I was playing and he said, I like this beat. Whose beat is that? And I said, I usually make the beats and sell them to the artist. So I like this beat. I want to buy it. And then I gave him the beat. He went home, came, and then the song was a banger. That was Stockroom. So you hear him saying the two's hardcore already made. That means Apietu's hardcore beat was already made, and then he put his voice on it.
I only know him from the professional level, work. He is a love me, hate me character. I'm sure people who have worked with him, who have heard very good things about him right now, some of them are also saying, is it the same Lumba they are talking about? Because if he has to be tough and rough, he can be. And he can be extremely nice. I'm sure you saw his last performance when he was calling people to come on stage. And he's always thanking people. You know, his last comment that he made on his own radio station was, Makramo. That was his last line on his own radio station. And he said this Makramo on the BBGJ album.
May his soul rest in peace. And he's been trending all weekend. Jackie.
Yes, Maame. So social media has been flooded with condolences following his passing. A couple of comments. So Princess, the musician of our childhood and adulthood. And you know, interestingly, Lumba's 43 songs, they are charting on Apple Music, and Makramo is #1.
Top in the charts.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people listening to his music.
May his soul rest in peace. And that's how we draw the curtain on the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM.